Ooh, it's us. Turn the music down just a little bit. Not taking up too much of everything. There we go. Welcome in, everyone, to tonight's episode of Mini Pete and Chill. Thank you for joining us last night for our newly renditioned campaign with Pleasant Words for Sale. I am not the aforementioned Words for Sale, but I'm Wheeler, and joined with me at the moment is... Where's your feet?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Is my partner in pretty much everything in life.
Specifically romantically.
Yeah, until Criss gets here, he's taken a second. We're going to be painting these bad boys on the table. I'm just waiting for him to get here so he can pick which one he wants. But thank you for joining us tonight. If you haven't already, please follow the channel. If you have the opportunity to and the money for it, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to resubscribe if you Twitch Prime subscribe. But yeah, we're just going to be for the next couple hours messing around with these minis, painting them, and having a good time while we chill out. If you have any questions or want to talk to us in chat while we're doing it, feel free. We'll be paying attention to it as we do. Other than that, make sure you come out on Friday, tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the next episode of Over the Tail Drop Peaks, another campaign that we're doing. No Dungeon Brawl this Saturday, back in Silas on Sunday. And then next week, we have the Mystery of the Archwizard on Wednesday, same time as yesterday, and then repeat schedule. We'll have a Dungeon Brawl episode next week. So, thank you for those of you who are joining us so far tonight, and sit back, relax, enjoy the beats of music.
What's this?
That's a bass.
What?
This guy. Done with him.
Did you glue it?
That is a skull bone.
I got that, but like, what's the purpose? Why is it?
Oh, it's just an extra piece. It's like where you would find a little black dragon.
Okay, so here's the thing. I understand this is supposed to be a black dragon. What if I don't want it to be a black dragon?
You can do whatever you want, but it would definitely look really nice with my young black dragon and my adult black dragon.
While I understand that, I feel like their bases, the yellow, I don't want it to be that color.
You can do it green. I did the base. I didn't do the base for him as yellow. It's just his bottom scales are like that.
Well, he's clean. I know he's going to.
That's my brush.
Can you give me a super tea, please, so I can. He looks so scared.
No, he's evil.
No, he's not.
Evil baby.
Why is he evil?
The black dragon.
And why can't he be nice? I like him, and
I have
say
no paint on
I know. I was just crazy. I like him, and I say he's not. Am I allowed to use that paint up here?
Yeah, they're all Chris's paints, but we use them for.
Is Criss gonna get mad at me?
Baby, I use his paint literally when he. So these are my paints.
I don't want him to come in here and be like, what bra is using my paints right now? Because, you know, that's definitely how Criss wants.
Yep. No Criss.
I'm sure Criss provides his own supplies, but as this is my house. I've determined her name is Violet, and she's not evil. She's trying to get out of the evil family business. The black dragons. Okay, so dragons.
Mm-hmm.
They're people. They can turn into people.
Some
So they have people form.
Some
So-
of them do.
Not all do?
No. Some of them stay in dragon form.
How does that happen?
magic. They learn magic in which they can turn themselves into. There are some dragons who like staying themselves.
How?
Most chromatic dragons, like black, red, blue, white, green, they like staying in a normally dragon form because it shows off their prowess and power. Whereas chromatic dragons are more like, I would rather stay in my form when I have to and be a person and talk to people and learn things as time goes on.
Okay, so I'm a little bit confused about it. Like, what's the intelligence level of a dragon that you a person?
Still high.
Okay. So, like, can you compare it to anything?
In regards to...
That I would understand? Like a character or a type of thing I would understand?
Hello.
Do you need help?
No, I'm good.
Can I sit next to you?
Fuck yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Alright, so I really like both the sculpts, but I wanted you to be able to pick.
I think of the two, alright. I'll go gold. But, I mean, it's pretty much a coin flip, but...
We already had an idea for the... You gotta mix up the like... See.
Oh boy.
I know you're not prepared.
So power's finally on at my house.
That's good.
You lost power?
My power's been out since Tuesday night.
Why?
So we had an electrical issue that seems to have been lingering longer than before it actually came to a head. But this, yeah.
You're gonna be the young lad that.
So you're trying to match it?
No, I just want to see what you did.
So what happened Tuesday was that we had a plumber over working on a water heater because we found out that our utilities bill starting January 13th was like double what it usually was.
Oh, that's weird.
Because starting like the middle of the night on January 13th, which is like a Wednesday, starting in the middle of the night.
Also, this is vegetarian buffalo chicken.
Oh, dude, sick.
I made it.
Yeah. So in the middle of the night, our electric usage spiked. Like the baseline jumped from 0 kilowatts per hour or kilowatt hours to 6, and it just stayed there.
Oh, whoa.
And it's been doing that for a month. So our utilities bill was like twice as high this month as usual. Not because of our usage, but because of that issue.
Was there anything like utility company or whatever could do about that, or would do about
We're
that?
working on getting our bill adjusted because obviously it's not like a usage issue.
Yeah,
It
it's not
was
like you guys did that.
Yeah, it was a different issue. And so that's separate. But so while the plumber was there, now I just stabbed the fuck out of myself. While the plumber was there on Tuesday now, well, we're longer than a minute into the stream, I think it's okay. Yeah, I really jibbity jabbed myself there.
You okay? Do you need a band-aid?
Thank you. So the plumber was there. He was working on the water heater. He had turned off, I believe, the parts he needed to turn off. But while he was down there in the house working on it, our power like surged and short-circuited a bunch of stuff across the house.
Jeez.
Including, I found out, the surge protector to my work computer.
Oh no.
So yeah, we will find out once I get back home what is going to happen with that, because I was essentially, I had checked it out from work. So I mean, better for the surge protector to die than my work computer.
Yeah.
But I do need it. Better for my surge protector to die doing its job than for my computer to die. Oh, that's right, the camera's on this side.
Hunter made vegetarian or vegan, I think it's vegetarian, buffalo chicken dip. And she was like, do you guys want some for the stream? And I was like, I don't know if we'll eat.
I haven't eaten since lunch.
Oh,
So.
it's very good.
Oh, I believe it.
I will say, it's made with seitan, so it doesn't taste like chicken, per se, but it does have like a pretty good...
I thought you were talking about the Band-Aid for a second. I was like, why would it matter what this Band-Aid tastes like?
No.
What are you trying to tell me?
That has like a good texture, I think. Shredded chicken texture is a hard thing to mimic, and I think I did pretty okay.
Yeah, so I was working from the office today.
Like the literal office?
Yeah.
They're not scary.
Well, I mean, no different. I was just working at a temporary workstation. I feel that.
Going anywhere. That's why it's so scary.
Yeah. I mean, there was basically nobody there apart from like a couple other managers and the new hire group. But I was off in my own area because I was in like my supervisor's cubicles area, which is not where they are. But yeah, so it was. I had to spend the first little bit of the morning like getting my stuff set up because I was using a computer that I was not logged into, so I had to get all my programs and stuff set up.
Yeah, that's always annoying. That was my least favorite thing about transitioning, because I had everything set up in my computer.
I do have to text my boss back and say, get my perspective. I just need to tell him that I need to figure out once I get back to the house, to make sure that my computer's not fried, because if it is, I have a bigger problem. But if my computer's not fried and I can just switch to a different surge protector, which like I might have to check out that second surge protector. Or I need to.
Y'all, names are tiny. Yeah, like I gather, but people who paint minis are crazy. Things are small. As someone who occasionally arts, this is a whole different realm of doing art. In my personal opinion. How are you today, baby? Good to know that even while on stream, you still don't listen.
I'm good. I'm having a pretty decent day.
Why is that?
It's a good day so far.
You're supposed to say something. He's like, oh, I spent time with you.
I mean, yeah, part of it is that.
Very cool.
Didn't know.
Did you get good ice cream at Target, or were those like two separate things?
We got good ice cream. They had a specific Ben and Jerry's flavor.
It's called Oats in the Swirl. What? It's supposed to be something of like world is a phrase, and I forgot it. It's effectively brown sugar ice cream with an oatmeal cookie swirl and chocolate chips. If you don't know this about me, oatmeal cookies with chocolate chips are my favorite cookies. So it was like an ice cream reflecting of my favorite thing.
Please pass me the purple.
Purple
this boy.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing brown to start, and then.
He's definitely based off of this. That sculpt is 100% based off the Waterdeep.
Yeah, the art from it. I recognized it.
Yeah, me too.
I think of the two, the only thing I don't like about the silver is that it does the same thing as the old young white sculpt, where the wings are too vertical. Like,
it's going to be very hard to do.
Well, what I would advise is if you have a heat gun, like if you have a blow dryer by any chance, then I would bring some water to like a near boil and dip him in it so that the base of his wings, like the area you want to bend, is immersed in hot water for a bit, and then bend it to the position you want. Get a bowl of ice water and then dunk him and hold him in the ice water with his wings in the position you want. And they should stay for the most part. The closer you get to boiling and the more extreme your temperatures are without actually like breaking the mini or melting it, the more effective it'll be. I just keep looking up the Arbiatorus mini, and it's just like, it's so stupid big.
Yes, very much so.
Like, I know it's hollow. They obviously made it hollow. But even with that, that's why it's only like, you know, a couple pounds. Like,
it's still, she's hefty.
I don't think that I have enough precision for mini.
It's not about precision, it's just about patience.
Well, let me rephrase. I don't think that I have enough patience. And here's why. I too enjoy art. But my art's so freehand and like whatever the hell I want to do, that I don't really color inside the lines per se.
I mean, if you ever watch me paint, half the time you know.
Criss doesn't follow anywhere. I'm the only one, and I'm starting to get out of it more and more. But Criss doesn't paint with it.
That's not really what I mean. I mean, like,
I won't say style. Criss definitely paints with a style. It's just like he doesn't follow the color scheme.
oh, that's not at all what I mean.
No, but like
care.
literally, I will be specifically messy.
I meant like there are pieces to this that I have to color. That if there's an outline. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The outline is the sculpt itself. I am definitely not skewed by what it normally looks like. I'm only doing this like what it normally looks like because I like my. He's so kind of.
The only reason I requested it is
Sure, though. Makes sense.
Ooh, Sally.
Just dragged it across me. After driving here, like, I've had my energy swings over the last like hour have been very like up down, where like I was very ready to leave work because my schedule today I started and ended like 45 minutes earlier than before because of the fact that we didn't know if I was going to have a workstation or if I was going to have to bring my own stuff. And so if I was going to have to bring my own stuff from work or from home, first of all, I would have found out today immediately that my surge protector was busted. Because I would have tried to plug it in and been like, oh no. Oh god, no. So I would have found that out today this morning. I had to bring it out tonight. But because if I was going to stay my normal time and do a closing shift, I would actually be there at least 10 minutes later than pretty much everybody else, because the new hires don't stay till closing. They don't stay till 6:08. They leave at like what is technically 6. So, and the training managers there want everyone to leave as quickly as possible because they don't want to be like the last ones there, stuck in the parking lot waiting for them. Yeah. And so I didn't want to be that burden of like, oh, well, if I'm staying till 6:08, like, I guarantee that I'm going to be there later than everybody else, and someone's going to have to wait on me. So we got my schedule adjusted today, be like 45 minutes earlier, but then it turned out that I had a workstation ready for today, so even though I got there early, like, I pretty much could have done a normal schedule and still been out, like, I could have adjusted it to 6 instead of 6:15, instead of, bumped it to 5:30. With it being 5:30, I was very much like, yes, let's get out of here. But then as soon as I was in the car, I was getting the updates on the power situation. So Tuesday night, we, were like, oh, well, we gotta put in a work order with our property manager. They said, oh, well, the soonest we can get an electrician out is tomorrow afternoon, which was actually the day after tomorrow afternoon, today, that the electrician was finally able to go out there. Got there this morning, so he was like, 2 hours earlier than
Expect.
yes, which was fine. But he was there, basically found out that the city needed to come out because the issue was with the power lines on the city side of it, not the customer side of it. So he wasn't able to work on it. Then, so we called the city. City sent somebody out at like 2 o'clock. He'd gotten there at like 11. And the city left. Tried it. Stuff still wasn't working. So we had the electrician come back out at like 4:30. And then he had to stay there, and he was still there when I left. Because he stayed there as soon as he was there, he realized, okay, the city didn't actually fix the thing they needed to fix. They fixed like the weather topper, but there's a neutral line that's down that is basically like the regulator between the two voltage lines that house the 120 volt lines.
Yeah.
That neutral line was the regulator between, and with it being busted, you know, that was just contributing to a problem. Plus, the line was frayed as hell, probably from just like squirrels.
Squirrels, yeah. You also live in it.
Yeah. But so then as I got off work at 5:30, I got in the car and then I called the city because Travis was at work. And I was on the phone for like 20 minutes. Got another work order put in. And then the city guy didn't get there till like 6 o'clock. A little bit after 6. Granted, you know, by the time I got home, he called me before I even pulled in and he's like, hey, I'm 15 minutes out. He was like 25 minutes out still. Not too bad, because, you know, better than coming out tomorrow. So the electrician was nice and stayed there until the guy got there so that he could explain it to him and like they could, you know, they wouldn't have to rely on us trying to middleman that shit.
Yeah.
So that took like an hour because the guy basically had to cut the line where it connects to the main transformer on the other side of the street, then come back, cut our part, pull it all the way down, splice a new part of the line in, and then pull it back up. By the time that finally finished was like right at 7 o'clock. And then I spent the last few minutes with the electrician like checking all of the voltage of our breaker stuff, which is how I found out that there was only one thing tripping in my room, which turned out to be my work computer surge protector. Great. But hey, we have power again. And then our dishwasher was also tripping it. So our dishwasher outlet is busted, or the dishwasher itself busted. And apparently something on the back porch.
You be going through it, bud.
House be going through it.
Yeah, it's from the 70s, so...
Doesn't matter.
Speaking of the 70s, and the 90s, and early 2000s, they all caught up on WandaVision?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You watched that.
Good segue.
We are a day away from the new episode coming out.
Yeah.
So spoilers are gone.
You don't have to say it like that. Just say, hey, we're going to be frankly discussing the show because we want to.
Well, that's what I mean. Like we're out of the time frame for spoilers because it's a week by week thing. So this is the warning to anyone on stream.
I've never minded. I'm pretty weird about it.
I don't like spoilers if they're for like a specific thing that is like further away or like really important.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, don't spoil the one big twist in this movie that just came out and everybody is like has not had the chance to watch, or like, you know.
I just am the type of person that like spoilers don't ruin anything for me.
Oh yeah.
So like, I don't care if I come across them. I'm not gonna like tell people because I'm not a dick. But if it happens to me, I'm not gonna be upset about it because I believe if it's good media, even if it's spoiled, you should still enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
They did come out with a video on the next episode.
Oh, there was a video?
Yeah.
Well, there was a trailer that
for the next
a clip that dropped on like Good Morning America. It's a clip from the next episode. Basically, the next episode is like spoofing Modern Family with like the mockumentary style, or like The Office, like talking to the camera. Good shit.
What's your feelings on the show? How do you like it?
I mean, every single episode is really good. Like, even just episode by episode, not even looking at the entire show as a whole, each episode is a super well-crafted homage to that decade's, like, particular styles of, sitcoms. Television, yeah. Like, they managed to nail down not only the show style itself, obviously specifically referencing like a big show from each generation or from each decade, which was sort of the fun of figuring out which one it was, like with the less familiar ones. Like, I didn't know Growing Pains as a show, but I was able to Google it and figure it out without actually saying like which one was the thick. Like, I just Googled like
not
80s.
something I even made a connection. So I just assumed it was based off the like.
People said Full House, but it was like, no,
That's
Full House is like late 80s, early 90s, and had a very, very different intro. And that's why I thought, I was like, oh, maybe this is Full House-ish in like the way they're dressed, obviously, because it's that generation.
Mm-hmm.
But the intro was too specific in that it was referencing something else, which I had never heard of Growing Pains before, because I'm a hella millennial.
Nothing at all. Yeah, I actually, because of how specific it was, like the thematicness, but I had a hard time watching the first episode because it was so specific and it was mimicking that time period, and that's not like a style of TV I frequently watch.
Oh, for sure.
So I was like, ugh, I don't know if I'm gonna get into this. And like, it got to the dinner scene, and Kitty,
Foreman.
Whatever her name is. Yeah.
I love how you call her that too, because I forget her name.
I don't know.
Like Deborah Jo Rupp, or is that was that the actress for?
No, that's the other. I thought that's the other one. At least the other woman looks like she would be a Deborah. I don't know, but when she like did the thing on dinner and like the whole tone changed, then I was like, ooh, interesting. But literally up until that point, I was like, I'm not gonna like this. And then that point happened.
I was even hooked
cool.
when he was at work, and it's like, what are we doing? Computations. That's our job. Input, output. It's like, okay.
It doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah, it's like that. This is unsettling.
I don't know if I'm just...
Yeah, I think the uncanny nature of it is really what drew a lot of people into it, but...
I personally like the development of just like Vision figuring out shit and being like
yeah, it's so many genres wrapped together with like
but done
sitcom
so well.
Plus mystery plus like more modern, sci-fi superhero series with the modern day stuff. Like, they really blended a whole bunch of stuff together in what could have been like really poorly done, but has ended up like meeting expectations and being really good every single episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think that's something, and we talked about this, was like, I think Disney is definitely making this like new era of what they're doing at Money Pool. Because obviously, if you do an episode every week, you're forcing viewers who want to watch it to pay for the subscription service.
Also, I think the last couple episodes are going to be longer.
Yes.
Honey
read earlier that it was
9 total hours of content. We've only had 6 half-hour episodes. So, like, that means that the last 3 episodes are going to be, like, almost an hour.
I love when shows do that.
Well, that's also like nicely tying into how TV has changed in the decades. It's
That's
like
fair. It's gotten longer.
Hour-long TV shows are very common these days, and I don't think they were that common even a couple decades ago. Like in the 90s, I can't really think of any.
No, a lot of that stuff was very much along the lines of.
I don't think it was still like the later HBO stuff. Like, I think Sopranos might have been a big turning point towards like bigger, long form, hour long. I mean, that's a little tangential of what we're talking about with WandaVision, but
Well, they're hitting the time point well because most episodes of shows, especially shows like the hour-long ones that we're talking about, are really an hour long. They're more often than not
45 minutes.
45 minutes of content with about 15 minutes of ad time in between. But with no ads, they have to make it about 45 minutes, and they've done pretty decently at making sure that that's kept along throughout.
Which I think has also been changing in the last like year or two with the switch from cable to like
subscription services.
Yeah, to streaming. Where like if you look at, for example, like His Dark Materials that I just watched on HBO Max, not sponsored.
What's that?
It's the HBO streaming service.
No,
His Dark Materials is Golden Compass.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
It's a young adult novel. Very good. It had a movie that came out in like 2007.
Ah, there's a polar bear.
Yes, the armored polar bears.
Sure.
I figured that's the one bit you would remember, and if you didn't remember, that's what I was going to bring up. Yes, but so His Dark Materials episodes are like 56, 57
Welcome
minutes.
everyone who's joining us. Any minis, all of them are dragons and some.
What do you
And
mean
we're
in some
talking about
way or
WandaVision.
another?
And-
They're literally dragons.
Well, we were talking about WandaVision, and it sort of blew up into
Yeah,
television
now we're
in
talking
general.
about the television and how it's developed over time.
But so, like, for example, I was saying His Dark Materials, the episodes are like actually 56, 57 minutes. Same with like Westworld.
Oh, like whole ass?
Yeah, and that could be that it's HBO, which all the shows
They
that I'm
have,
thinking
like,
of are like
longer form
specifically
shows.
yeah. But you could probably, well, if I were to look it up, I would probably find a couple more examples of shows that are quote unquote hour long that are actually getting much closer to an hour long versus, like you said,
Because they genuinely
hour.
don't have to fill in ad time.
Yeah.
yeah,
Do you have the glue?
Yeah.
oh, somewhere.
Can I also get Baja and Blizzard again? Is that over here? Yeah.
How's she look so far?
We're good.
Oh, is this your technical paintbrush?
No, it's just a rubber paintbrush.
Oh, well.
We got a couple of them.
What do you mean by pretty good? What should I do to address it?
Nothing.
His pretty good means that there's something he would do. One, make it purple, but do that.
No. I would do the bone structures a different color.
Yeah, you think they're too light? Or they're too...
Yeah, there's a skeleton bone in there that will work out for
I know, I just didn't want anything with a yellow undertone.
I really like the way you've done the wings so far.
Yeah.
I'm trying to speed through getting a solid base coat all the way across. This guy's wings are so fucking big. And I'm trying to just get an even coat, which is mostly just me going back like a second and a third time on spots that didn't quite cover as well. Like over and over and over. But so, okay, so we just finished episode 6, right?
Yeah, the Halloween episode.
Yes. I was instantly like, bro, fuck yeah, when the theme song started and I realized it was Malcolm in the Middle. Because I had been saying to like Ashley and Jimmy and them, I was like, I bet you when they get to 2000s, they're gonna do Malcolm in the Middle, like for early 2000s before they do like, the modern stuff. Because people already knew from the trailer that there was gonna be like a modern family style, like modern one. Because there's the clip of like the mockumentary hit. But just the way they craft the theme song every week is so good.
Yeah, I love shows that change it up.
And I was just watching videos specifically just on the commercials that they put in there. Like the World,
Yep.
Wanda's weird.
Yeah, he constantly points out like the references to what they are. I love it.
The most recent one with the shark and like the yo magic thing, that one was a lot less clear.
Yes. I didn't know exactly what that had.
That one I haven't really seen as clear of an explanation because it's not like referencing one specific thing super clearly. It seems to be much more of like some explanation of how she's feeling, but not really referencing a specific. You know, it's not like Lagos or Stark or Baron Strucker.
Or yeah, Strucker. Strucker was the big one that stuck out. The Stark one, when it first happened, I was like, oh, it's just like it didn't make sense because you didn't realize that time was shifting when you first watched it. Because you were like, oh, I think it's going to be all this, but I remember seeing something about it being like in color at some point. And then when we started watching it and I saw all the different ones, I was like, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah, I did notice today when watching a video about it, the couple who is in the commercials is the same couple every time.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yes, it is.
So, like, it makes it clear that, like, they also seem to be people trapped in the thing.
That's a really cool detail. I genuinely didn't.
Yeah, because, like, I noticed the lady, but, like, they're in such different settings, and, like, I'm not focused on the people themselves so much as, like, the overall situation, and obviously trying to figure out what the reference is that I didn't notice, so it was pointed out. But it's like, oh yeah, that's the same actors.
It's definitely a fun show for people who know a lot about like the comic universe and like them tying in like really cool Easter eggs all the time.
Michelle, who plays in our Monday, is super into all of that. Points out a lot of stuff.
She is way more into like actually knowing about the comics, like more than a surface level than I do. Because I surface level know about most comic stuff. And there's only a couple things that I've really like dived into. Michelle has a really deep knowledge, like impressively broad and deep at the same time, of like every single comic thing that we've talked about.
I have a surprisingly deep knowledge about comics, but only very specific comics and very specific characters that I like. Because if I don't, I do not follow them. Saga, okay.
Saga is so good.
Not just referring to Saga, although I could talk about
Saga
that forever.
is the one that pops into my mind. There are a lot of
I binge read Saga like over like a 1 week
yeah.
period, like last year.
Well, I didn't have that late of a start. I got into it pretty early, so from like volume 30 on, I literally every week
Whereabouts was 30?
I have no clue. I have this really bad problem with I consume a lot of books and comics, but I do it in large quantities, so I cannot tell you what happens chronologically. I just like know everything. For example, my favorite book series is very long. Michael is currently reading it, and I know what happens, but I don't necessarily know exactly when, because I've read it all so many times that it's all like one big story in my head. I have a bad time doing that. But I'd assume 30 is probably where halfway point. Currently, technically, okay, I'm gonna get a million answers, not answer your question. From where Saga currently is ended, it is. I cannot think of the word other than
their daughter was born?
No, because their daughter's born on the first page.
Oh, like really early. Okay, yeah. What was it before their daughter was like sentient?
Oh, when Hazel gets older, I don't
That's
know.
her name.
You know what's really funny? I have Saga. Give me like 30 seconds. Ow.
I remember Marco, and I remember the Ghost Girl, and the Lion Cat, who is my favorite. Then
Lion Cat,
yeah, fucking Fallout has had that Lion Cat Funko Pop sitting on the shelf for like so long, and I don't really collect Funkos myself, so I've never bothered to pick it up. But that one, yeah, I mean, I've been buying Kimmy more Funkos.
I just grabbed
it's like I'll buy them for other people, but I haven't really committed to buying any myself.
I just grabbed 3 different comic books and started walking this way, and each time it wasn't Saga. And I went back and I'm like, that's not Saga. And I did it 3 different. Don't know where it is. I can just look it up. Get it wrong. Let's see, what is... Not volume. What do I mean? That's smaller than volume. Issue.
I would say I didn't think there were that many volumes. But
No, there's like 8.
I didn't think about that. I trusted that you knew what you were talking I didn't really.
I
think
knew
twice.
of what I meant. I just didn't communicate that.
Honestly, though, but there could be 30 volumes. And
Oh.
You couldn't, like... You could convince me that there was 30, because there's so much that I read all at once.
There is a lot. I will say it was. It's expected that this is actually only half of it. Where it ends, I've like read a lot about it because they took a hiatus, and then that hiatus keeps getting extended, and it's absolutely killing me because
I
it
think I
ends
read
up
up
crazy
to where the
cliffhanger.
hiatus started.
Well, if you read up to where the hiatus started, that's the end.
Yeah.
That's all there is so far. But it ended on a... are you? Because it ended on a super, super crazy cliffhanger.
I vaguely remember that.
And for the fact that you weren't sure what Hazel's name is...
Yeah, but that's because I have smooth brain, like, memory.
But, like, that's the main character. That's the narrator of the story. You don't know her name?
I also don't remember the Ghost Girls.
That's fine. She dies. Like, who cares?
She was dead before it started,
Well, yeah, but she dies again. Just kidding. I care. It was a heartbreaking character. Death. I love her.
What is the bounty hunter's name?
Which one? The Will?
The Will. That's right. The Will.
He hasn't even finished the first volume.
What's Titty Spider Lady's name?
The Stock.
The Stalk. Yeah.
The Stock. Yeah.
Stock, but yeah. She was cool. She was a cool character design.
Was cool. I like Petrichor a lot. Petrichor is one of my favorite characters. Do you know who Petrichor is? Because I'm quizzing. This is me secretly asking how far you are.
I know you're gatekeeping me right now.
I'm not gatekeeping you. I want to know what I can have
You
a
don't even know the
conversation with you
fucking
about.
You like Saga? Name 3 characters, because I literally can't.
No, I just was wondering how far you were in, because if you don't know the main character's name, you're probably not that far.
No, I literally binge read the entire thing. It was a while ago, and it was during quarantine.
Okay.
I will tell you that. So, like...
Do you know how many book series I've read during quarantine? Do you know how I can tell you all of the characters' names?
Yeah, but...
That's actually not true, by the way. I definitely could not do that. I've read way too many.
Let me say, different people have different memory and stuff. Like,
maybe that's so weird.
I'm not bullying you. I was just
joking.
kidding. It's beautiful. Very silvery.
okay, I think this nice
Can I have skeleton bone?
Wonka chocolate dragon is ready to chill for a minute. Before I basically do the same thing Wheeler did and just start
Covering everything.
assaulting it with dry brush.
That being said, I absolutely adore Saga. I think that's a wonderful comic series.
Oh shit, I missed this one. I realized.
But what I do with like more mainstream comics than that is I 100% cherry pick based on characters I like.
That's fair.
So if it's not a character I like, I won't really read it up.
I have been trying to do like full storylines.
Mm-hmm. I started that because of Punchline, the new
The new Joker.
Yeah, the new Joker's henchman or whatever, the new Harley, effectively.
Sidekick. That's the name. That's what I was saying.
I started reading the Batman series when Joker War starts, which like goes over Batman and Nightwing and Harley Quinn series and like a bunch of them. It's all connected.
Yeah, you always gotta find those little single issues in other things, and it's like, I really don't know what's going on in this overall other comic, but this thing ties in, so I have to read it.
I literally looked up all the issues that include the Order of Joker War, and I read all of them, but I'm not caught up with any of the other individual actual comic series.
Yeah, my favorite like big crossover event series are the ones that in each couple episodes or in each couple issues give you a breakdown of like what all has released that's connected to it. So like Dark Knights and like Dark Knights Metal, I read the shit out of that, including all of the tie-ins and all that. It was good. It was super good.
It's always been very opposite of most people. I was never a super huge Batman. He was just too depressing. We get it. You're an orphan. Who isn't? Like.
My parents are dead.
Yeah, you're also a fucking billionaire. Calm the fuck down. I'm not saying that money will replace the love of a parent, but like, you feel me? Okay, there's Violet thus far.
I like it.
What? You have the most dry compliments in the world. I wax eloquent at you constantly, and you're just like, yeah, I guess that's cool.
Could it happen to be because I'm currently?
Is that any excuse to not properly woo your partner?
This is really good.
Oh, I'm glad you like it. I was honestly pretty proud of how it turned out.
I'm
Even though
usually,
I fucked up the chicken part, the seitan, but
I'm not usually a fan of like buffalo flavoring because it's just
it's a lot.
well, no, just like the combination of like butter and hot sauce as a flavor is just sort of bleh to me. But this is really good.
I only crave buffalo chicken like very specifically, and this was one of those. And then I stopped liking it.
It's really weird. It's like you look at it and it's like, oh, it's like so purple, and then you look at it like it's silver.
That's how metallic work.
Thank you.
I think I might have done, if I was taking that same approach, I don't know if I would have done like a reddish purple. I probably would have gone more towards an indigo.
I was thinking
Did you
about
have
that.
a blueberry purple?
Not contrasty color, but you could probably mash it out of the two of those.
I could have.
Or I would have just gone for like what's this?
Well, I'm assuming it's gonna get darker as it goes on. Right?
May. The contrast is to pull the shadows out for me, and then the dry brushing that I'm doing is really just to basically base coat the entire thing. So you're getting that silver. But it's funny because you are getting that. You are getting that pearlescent aspect to it because of the way.
God, my titties!
I just on stream is like you're both stretching. He's like, ee.
I just wanted a small orange. You first up in my car.
Okay.
You don't know that song?
It's just you got halfway through the line, and I was expecting one thing, and let me tell you,
Oh, good old Foster.
expectations subverted.
I hear that a lot.
I think this is the biggest fry brush I have. Who's this guy?
Honestly, that truly fucks. What are you drinking?
It's a hard seltzer made by Criss and Wheeler.
Try it?
And then I have another one that I think is
Ooh,
even better.
key lime cherry. Ooh, blood orange. I want.
Yeah, that one's very citrusy. The key lime is sort of eh.
Ooh, it's overwhelmingly Capri Sun cherry. It literally tastes like a Capri Sun.
Yeah, it came in a multi-pack. They got it. Publix.
I like it. I think I like them more than White Claws. I honestly, not to be like a basic bitch, but I'm a slut for seltzers.
White Claw, really sort of middle ground brand for seltzers. There's a couple that not White Claw themselves, but like there's a couple seltzers that I've really fucked with, and then a whole bunch that I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'd rather not.
Gorgeous.
I am almost out.
Actually look pretty good.
Yeah, I'm almost out of this gold.
Minus the.
Beautiful.
I've used it a whole fucking lot. Like,
No, actually, I do like it
it's just building.
because the shadows are pulled out by that magenta, and it actually gives it a very nice sheen. I also looked at the the silver dragon before I painted it. It is very much just straight up silver. Like there's no shadow to it. There's no. The most that you get out of it is this piece right here has that like carapace like yellow that it has, but that's over by silver. The base is very like bluish purple.
You're gonna move that to the middle, too.
Yeah, I should probably do that so you can see.
So I'm not like jabbing you in the arm.
You got a posture check, a hydrate, and a stretch.
Well, okay. So I just chugged like half of my.
Yeah,
fucking
I also.
I don't have a drink. Ooh, water. not stupid when there's ice in there. You know how when it's really hot, you can see the heat lines? You can see that in alcohol. To what? Oh, I thought you were going to do my Harry Potter.
Jump, snump, into pap, snurp.
That was beautiful.
Like even the horns.
I would give it like honestly like a solid 8. Like it wasn't super powerful, but like it had meat.
A good rumble.
Yeah.
It felt good.
That's good. What Harry Potter house? Wasn't talking to.
I'm just making sure I wasn't wearing my Slytherin beanie. That is one of my like 3.
Oh. I too am a Slytherin. Slytherin this dude. I don't know if that's how that works.
Nope. We actually talked about the reason why I know that Criss is a Slytherin. Harry Potter parties.
Sometimes.
When I was
A young boy?
Yeah.
Did your
I-
father-
A warthog.
there's so many.
I was a young warthog.
When I was younger and I was talking to my not yet girlfriend at the time, or no, we were definitely dating. So my girlfriend at the time, we were like, this was very young. We were taking the Pottermore Harry Potter house test together on the phone, and I thought I was a Gryffindor. She thought she was a Slytherin. So we took it together, and
You
we
were
both
both
got
backwards?
the opposite. Yeah, and we were just talking, and because of that, it was the first time I said I love you to her, which is disgusting.
That's pretty gay.
That's
Yeah.
cringe as shit. Yeah.
I think J.K. Rowling would be disgusted.
I
What
hope
happened?
so. You know what happened.
Yeah, I do.
A lot, actually. I think I could say a lot for that. How old am I? 23? So that 14, 6, 9-year weird friend relationship thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's so fucking pretty.
It's just shiny chocolate.
It looks
really.
like chocolate.
It's just shiny chocolate.
I was gonna say it makes me want to eat it.
It's the it is the
It's like the holiday dragon, where it's
yeah.
instead of the Easter bunny, you just get like
take,
this.
You take that and you just throw it onto the table and it cracks and then you get.
Okay, but like a chocolate molded dragon, that would sell.
Oh,
That would.
That
What a
sell.
crazy monster to fight! It's like
It's chocolate. You just do like a little flame spell.
Yeah, it's
Nail
like-
it.
I have an idea.
he
for
dies
one shot.
in one hit to fireball.
Chocolate dragon.
Yeah.
I want to eat.
Like another Christmas parody one shot where you guys are going through a candy shop instead.
Have you told Chris about your cobalt?
Like the Kobold Crew idea?
No.
Meepo?
Yeah.
I
Have you
read
told him
I
about
read the
that
word
one shot?
Meepo on the stream the other day, and I wasn't, or on the in the Discord, and I wasn't sure what was going on
When
because
we
I didn't have
visited-
time
I
to read it.
want to tell you. When we visited Colorado, my best friend was like, "Do you want to do like a little one shot while you guys are here?" My partner would love to like DM or whatever, and I was like, "Heck yeah, bud, let's do it." Oh no, I did it.
Because you can't be friends with yourself.
No, I hate myself now. And I was like, "Fuck yeah,
Mean you
bud,
now.
let's go for it."
Oh, did you say bro?
No, I said heck, and it's one of my least things in the entire world. Probably because I was talking recently. But so we did a little one shot, and Michael was a kobold, and now you.
Oh, I was Meepo.
He's the funniest fucking. It's so
And Chris, you know my Kobold voice.
Unfortunately, I did.
So I did my Kobold voice.
I'm cursed with the knowledge of it. I would go a little heavier.
Look at that! Look at
On
how
what?
he compliments his own work, but then to me he's like,
No, it's alright.
okay.
Pretty good.
He wants to suck his own dick, but like won't even give me a little shake.
Look down from the top. Everything that's touching on the top, I would highlight more.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm currently still trying to go over. I just like the way the shadows
Also,
sketching.
I can't tell if you had missed spots right here with the purple.
I did. I'll go back over.
So this, it just looks like you hit them with more silver, like okay. Hard to tell if they're.
Well, I'll probably go
Different.
back over again
It
with.
looks like leather.
I may go over with the indigo purple this time.
Leather's a really easy effect to do with
like the more indigo colored. I may mix like you said, and then go back over it as a wash, and then highlight again.
Anyways, I played as a fairy, and Elliot played as a pixie, and we spent like 2 hours trying to add those classes to D&D Beyond, and it was the most harrowing experience we had. So we could use them. And so I played a bard, and you
Race, you mean,
were...
not class. You're trying to add the races to D&D?
Yes.
Yes.
I was saying, I was like, wait, when could we start adding classes?
No.
Didn't even remember that she was talking about like pixie and fairy.
My bad. So yeah, we tried to eat the races. It was just a lot. Anyways, and then I was a bard, and I was told that I'm a natural, shocking absolutely nobody. I'm very good at being a bard, and it was honestly really fucking fun. I'm just very good at it.
I played. Meepo was the Swarm Keeper Ranger.
So good.
And he had his swarm was bees that stayed in his leather armor.
Bees are always a really good swarm to start with. I mean, I also have a bee-based Swarmkeeper Ranger that we already know about.
I thought I'd tell him the bee puns.
Oh yeah, I named all my bees like funny names. So there was one named like Beetholomew.
Beyonce. There was a couple Beyonces. I think there was a Beatrice.
Beatrice. Yeah.
JB.
Just lots of them. Oh my god. And then you made so many good jokes. One of them was you need to get therapy or something
Oh
like
yeah.
that.
We were assisting in trying to calm down a gnome who was freaking out because the shop had gotten broke into. And I was like, oh, I'm trying this new thing. And I was like, here, would you be okay if I tried it? And he was like, yeah. And so I had two bees just go out and like sit on him and just like pet with one of their like legs on him. And I was like, I call this therapy.
And it was fucking great. Phenomenal. Great time.
Oh yeah.
It was really fun.
My bee-based Swarmkeeper Ranger is technically a Warforged, but the story behind it is that it is a swarm of bees piloting a suit of armor.
That's me. That's just me.
It's Spider's Man, but the bee version.
So for a second there, I was like, wow, that sip of gin is really hitting. Then I remembered I have to do that in practice. Do you want to bring home any cookies?
Are they regular cookies?
No. They're chocolate chip.
The most, the strangest of cookies.
Well, I don't know if the nerd ropes I sent home are eaten, but
They haven't been yet.
I think the
We're
cookies
waiting
are
on.
honestly better.
We're waiting on Kimmy. By the way, Kimmy got her like provisional, like tentative offer
For
for the job
hell
that
yeah.
she just interviewed on Tuesday.
Good stuff.
Yeah, apparently she was first pick, which makes sense because she was the first one that they picked to interview, like scheduled to interview, which they usually do those first to make sure that they get a shot.
From this angle, it looks like that dragon's leaning back and holding you like a baby. Alright. It's good.
I'm really trying to just fuck this guy up with paint.
What he deserves.
Bless you.
I got him chill.
Yeah?
Yeah. Can I ask you guys D&D trivia? Just for fun. See if you guys...
Are you on like Quiz Up?
I'm just
so-
finding random
So
stuff.
the Quiz Up app, which I have since deleted on my old phone just because I didn't have space at the time, but like literally I was like number 3 in the country for D&D trivia because I just played it so often, so I'd see the same questions all the time.
Alright, you guys ready?
It would only get really fucked when it's like, how many fucking Elminster books are there? And it's like, fuck you.
I don't want to, but I will. Give me like 30 seconds. There was like this thing called like Quizilla or something when I
Yeah.
was a kid, and you could like make little pop culture quizzes on
Oh
it or
god,
whatever you wanted.
I'm having
made
war
so
flashbacks.
many.
I'm having war
I'm
flashbacks.
so sorry, but I just thought about it. I would make like what kind of cupcake quizzes are you? 'Cause that
Oh,
was
so like
bad.
the beginning of BuzzFeed.
What kind of bad dragon dildo are you?
Is that
What's
a
the-
quiz? Because I'm gonna find it.
I don't know.
That is definitely it.
Mine is I'm a teeny weeny. I love those bitches.
I don't know any. I'm making a joke. I have zero experience in that area, so.
Teeny weenies are they make like really small casts of their dildos and they just sell them to you. And
I mean, I figured based off
Alright,
of context.
so not for kids when we put this on YouTube.
oh, my bad.
Oh, I don't care.
Well, I'm pretty sure you can't advertise on the kids anyway.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, you can't monitor.
Bard was originally a subclass for which of the following classes? Or you can just tell me.
I think Chris knows this better than I do.
Do you want answer choices?
Yeah,
or...
give me answer
What?
choices.
Fuck. Wait. What edition? It was a Bard was a like
What?
kit prestige class thing for Rogue. No, because Rogue wasn't a proper class to a 3rd edition, right? It was still Thief.
You want the answer?
Give me my answer.
Alright.
Wait, was it that or Magic?
Fighter,
Nope.
mage, druid, cleric, or rogue?
I'd say Rogue as well.
Is that what you said?
That was my first instinct.
Would you guys like to know if you're right?
Sure.
Okay, I'll tell you later. Alright.
It's not Druid.
Bard
Just
was
kidding,
also,
you're right.
I recently learned, Bard was also a half-caster.
Yeah, which is why I think it was Druid or Rogue based.
It is rogue. Okay.
Yes,
As a
fuck
subclass,
yeah.
Bard originally used which spell list? Druid, cleric, warlock, mage, or wizard?
I guess Warlock.
Well, hold
Say
on though.
Mage.
Yes.
So then Mage list.
I say that's part of the trick. There is that
Can
We're-
there be
we're
a
talking
prize
about-
at the end of this?
we're talking about 2nd edition, like AD&D.
Can there be a prize at the end?
I don't believe
Okay.
Warlock was even a class yet at that point.
Okay, have you locked in your answer?
I'm pretty sure it's also Mage. It definitely was not Cleric.
So, you're both wrong. So 1 for 1. It's druid.
Ah, yeah.
Really?
Okay.
I
In
think Druid was
5e
also. Okay.
or 5th edition,
Oh, oof.
you know, look at me
We're getting
going
deep
D&D
here.
Yeah. Oh,
terms.
Jesus.
There's
I don't
an
know if I can answer
optional
this.
rule that lets Warlock use a different ability for spellcasting. Which ability was it?
Intelligence.
Warlock?
It's already Charisma.
Yes.
I think it was Intelligence because there just weren't that many Intelligence masters.
You guys are competing.
Well,
Nah.
I still live by the rule that I think Sorcerer should be Constitution mastery, but
That was going to be my next guess.
We had a
Because
conversation about that recently.
Yes,
I
we
remember.
because it's
No.
based off of blood.
Oh, Sorcerer. You had said Sorcerer.
Yeah.
Warlock.
Alright, you gave your answer, baby. What do you
I'm pretty sure it's Intelligence, but no, that's definitely
What
wrong. It's
say
not
you?
Intelligence.
Are you changing your answer?
Hmm.
Gold. Thank you.
This is wholeheartedly the Minecraft thing. Right now.
Oh, I don't have
Sir.
anything.
I need it.
I'm gonna say wisdom.
He can't. He said he wants to think.
I know I've read this. It's in the fucking. It's 5e. Why do I not remember 5e? I'm just gonna say Intelligence and say fuck it.
That's cool, because you would be correct.
Okay.
Moving on. Originally, the sub-races for Warforged were tied to their integrated protection option,
Mm-hmm.
which option allowed for the Juggernaut Warforged. I will read you the 3 answer choices.
Okay, I'm gonna know this.
Darkwood core, composite plating, and
Oh.
heavy plating.
Heavy plate.
I'm pretty sure it's heavy plating.
You are both correct.
Yeah.
In 5e, Produce Flame is available for which class?
Fuck off. Druid. Is this pre or post artificer? I know it's on the artificer.
It's Druid. There was a thing I read about this, and I literally watched the... I could be wrong, but I watched the Baldur's Gate 3 thing yesterday. Jeremy Crawford was on there. He was like, oh, yeah.
Oh, because they just added Druid.
Yeah. He was like, we wanted to give Druids the ability to, like, deal with nature, but we also wanted to make sure that, like, you knew that they understand the destructive powers of nature as well. So we gave them access to, like, Flame Sphere, and it's also getting added to Baldur's.
Yeah. It's its own thing. You get to move it around.
Yeah, did you watch it?
Yeah. I watched like half of that video. I didn't watch the full thing. I just wanted to see what their list of things was.
I'm saying Druid.
Okay. You also do it?
How old is this quiz? When did it come out?
Great question. 5 months.
I'm gonna say Artificer because I know it's Artificer. It's probably gonna be Druid because it's probably an older question.
It is Druid.
Yeah.
The god
Artificer's not wrong.
Taylor, yeah.
A is native to which world?
Oh, Greyhawk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which first edition supplement added the Thief class? Blackmore, Greyhawk, Eldritch Wizardry,
Wizardry. It's not that one.
Gods, demigods, and foes. That's all one.
You said what class?
Thief.
What?
Eldritch something?
Added the Thief subclass?
I thought Thief was original.
Yeah, first edition. Well, yeah, Thief was one of the main classes, right? Like.
It just says which supplemented first edition.
I have no idea on that one. That's a stumper.
What say you?
I'll guess the gods, demigods, heroes, even though I think that's wrong.
Me?
Eldritch Wizard. Oh my god.
I think it's Eldritch Wizard.
You're both wrong. It's Greyhawk.
Oh.
D&D
Okay.
was originally published by which company?
TSR.
Yes, sorry.
Which of these classes are not in D&D 5e? Warlock, Kineticist.
Medicist, first medicist.
You're asking us questions that are too easy.
Wow,
Which isn't your fault.
I mean, this one's
Artificer.
Can you pass me the
Ranger
Indigo
and
contrast
Blood
and
Hunter.
Oh, I already have that.
Did you hear the rest of it?
Artificer is a class.
And
That's
so is
Gideon.
Blood Hunter.
Ranger and Blood. Well, it says Blood Hunter.
Blood Hunter is
Maybe it's just a mistake of the.
Blood Hunter is a class specifically made by Matt Mercer. Kineticist is not. Unless you're saying
Kineticist.
But is it in the D&D 5e specifically?
Blood Hunter?
Mhm.
Yes.
No.
It's on D&D Beyond.
Oh, okay, well then this quiz
It's
might
semi-official content.
Semi-official.
Okay, well that's probably why it's not included in
Well,
the
Kineticist is not a class.
Yeah, that's one
I
of
would
the
say
answer choices that wasn't.
Okay,
Oh,
so it's
okay, so
2
it's
out of 5.
more.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I was
Okay,
trying to explain.
Oh, okay.
I literally said this one has more.
We got too focused on.
So thanks for everyone who's listening in on us just ranting about D&D content.
Has anyone scored higher than we have? Probably.
Which of the following is not a giant in D&D 5e?
Easy.
Ogre, Troll, Cyclops, Ethan?
That's
Okay, Yeti.
Yeti.
Yeti. Yeti's its own.
Yeti's a monstrosity. Probably.
Me too.
No.
So is this?
We're talking creature subtype.
I'm pretty sure
I thought they were
monstrosity
the-
is Sorry. Okay. Which of the following are known for being able to create gods?
Kuatoa.
Thank God, I did not want to
Yes.
have
Before we even got there, Kuatoa. I don't need answers.
I may still.
to say. Baby's dyslexic. I didn't want to try to do that shit.
I don't need the.
Which,
I don't need multiple choice for that.
which of the following does not have the reach trait in 5e?
Are they weapons?
Yes.
Okay.
Whip, pike, glaive? The
Mhm.
fuck is a glaive?
Glaive
Glaive
is a type of
long
polearm.
pole.
A what?
polearm?
What's a
A
polearm?
glaive is basically like a short. It's a big, heavy blade on the end of this. Like, imagine instead of a spear, instead of the spear being like a spear tip, it's like a short sword, or like a gladius.
Sounds disgusting. Anyway,
Pretty cool.
halberd
Alberta has reach.
and spear.
Like,
Spear does not have reach. Spear is a one-handed.
well, it can be two-handed. I thought it had.
Does not have reach.
I mean, he's right.
Okay.
According to statistics collected by D&D Beyond,
Yes.
which of the following was the most common class for the...
Aarakocra?
Yep, thank you. Ranger, cleric, monk, and druid. To the people listening to me, I'm not stupid, and I can
That's a
read.
hard word to say.
I am dyslexic, and like fantasy words destroy me.
No, there is no like shame to take in that. That's a hard word to say.
Do you think that's a good purple?
That is
Yes.
blue.
Very blue.
That
Should
is.
I add?
But no, because you're doing it over purple.
Do a little test spot of it first, just to make sure.
Do you like the inside of his wings that are touching each other?
Also good. The issue is I can't see that spot. That's the blue. That's how it comes up.
I think it needs.
I would just go light with it, but just
Comes out.
use less and just stretch it across further. Like really try to pull that all the way across, like as far other direction,
Like spread it
long
up.
ways. Yeah. Really spread it and make it thin, because you're gonna want to go
It's
over it
gonna
with
look
silver
good
again.
regardless. Yeah, I'm going over with silver again. So
But
honestly,
I wouldn't. What I would do is not touch the entire thing with the blue. Be selective with where you're putting the blue to really darken it.
With blue.
The groove.
So should I put it in darker areas or should I put it in lighter areas?
I would do it in dark areas. Bless you.
Okay, so not where I put it.
I mean, I would say you could also do it on the bottom sides of the wing fully, and just double up in the parts of the membranes of the wings where, like, you know, the darkness collects. To give that 3D effect.
Next question.
I asked you a question.
Oh, Lord.
According to statistics collected by D&D Beyond,
Oh,
which of the
this is
following?
the.
Oh, yeah,
you
monk.
said monk.
Yes.
I
that correct?
literally made an error.
Yes.
Figured.
Of the following, according to D&D Beyond statistics chart, why would they reword it if it's effectively the same like question? Which is the most common relative to all characters? Elf Ranger, Dwarf Cleric, Elf Wizard, Tiefling Warlock, or Human Paladin?
We're between those last two.
Yeah.
Human Fighter is number one by far.
I actually
Behind
think
that.
Elf Ranger might be up there too.
Those are see, that's a tricky question because they picked all pretty common ones. I want to say Tiefling Warlock because it's.
I'm gonna say Elf Ranger. I'm gonna go off on this.
We're probably gonna be both be wrong because.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
Warden is a god
Warden,
of which race's pantheon?
Dwarf.
In 5e, which creature?
Which what?
Creature. I just can't say words.
Creeper?
Apparently.
Oh no!
Which creature type is a Rakshasa?
The Fiend.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be humanoid? Or was it its own race or own monster type?
What's a thing?
Oh, it's starting to get that pearlescent look.
This question has 2 correct answers, so don't find me.
Okay.
Which of the following are not part of the 3.5
Oh.
edition SRD? Warlock, Fighter, Artificer.
Artificer. Artificer. Each one.
Artificer.
Either one.
Artificer.
Fucking
Artisanal.
Parmesan all over again. Artisanal.
Artisanal.
Wait, Artificer.
Yes.
Haha. Monk or Ranger.
Not
The
part of
SRD.
3.5?
So
Uh-huh.
the SRD is the. What that means is like the public domain like version of the rules. So one of those
I'm gonna say it's
was
Artificer. as a guess.
Yeah,
Because
because
it
the
was
SRD is like the basic rules.
I'm also going to say monk.
There's more. Yeah, so there's more than one.
Monk is my second.
Can you go through them again? We had Warlock, Artificer.
One moment. My phone got out of it. Okay, it was, and we're almost there. Warlock, Fighter, Artificer, Monk, and Ranger.
I think it's probably going to be Artificer and Monk or Artificer and Warlock. Because Ranger and Fighter are 100% basic bitches.
Yeah, they've been around for...
It's Warlock.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that Warlock was not a class that was...
Well, it just means that they added it later in a supplement. So I'm not surprised.
I would just like to note that every single time I type D&D, I put it in.
That's fair.
Not everyone does. You know, this might actually look cooler with just the...
Alright, you guys ready?
I'm not gonna say.
Like... I'll probably just...
What year was the first edition of Dungeons & Dragons published?
71.
Do you guys want answer choices?
Yes.
Okay. 1974, 1983, 1969, 1982.
It's about
Is it 69? Are we talking white box or are we talking first edition? It's like... I'm gonna say 74. It's probably 60.
Oh, fun thing. This is a quiz, not trivia, so I can't tell you if you're correct until the end.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yay. Who is the god orcs worship?
Grunch One Eye, specifically.
Which class is not included in the 5th edition of Dungeons & Dragons Player Handbook? Monk, Gunslinger, Warlock,
Gunslinger,
Druid. I don't even play D&D. What was the first official campaign setting created for Dungeons & Dragons?
Ooh, it was either Greyhawk or Blackmoor. I think it was Greyhawk.
What? Hey!
I think it
Cold
might
breath.
What kind of special breath does the silver dragon have?
Can you tell by the fact that I put... No, cold.
Is it cool?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's one of the only other few ones that has a cold breath.
In
I just remember that, like, half of them have fire, which is just, like, there's multiple... I think there's multiple metallics that both have fire. Gold and something else both have fire.
Gold and
Stupid.
brass.
Yeah.
In 5th
Stupid.
edition, how does a monk gain her supernatural powers?
Key!
Yeah. Spiritualism, bitch.
What is the name of the card game that was released specifically to play during a game of D&D?
Talking about
Three
Taroko?
Dragon Ante
Oh, 3 Dragon Age.
or Taroka. Probably Three Dragon Ante.
Probably.
Okay, that's what I clicked. What kind of undead is Count Strahd?
He's a vampire lord. Vampire lord.
Look at that picture. How could he not be?
Yeah,
Which is
he's
the
like
art-
he's like the Zaddy of D&D right now. Everyone's obsessed with him.
That's
Strahd
so
von
funny
Zarovich.
that you say that because I was just thinking that he looks like that one dude that's ahead of the Volturi in the Twilight movies, the
Arno?
really ugly
Arno?
one. The one that's like, oh, when he touches
Yeah.
people. Yeah, that's what he looks like. And that's
Strahd von
Mike-
Zarovich has his own Twitter Twitter as well. Go follow him.
which is the arcane tradition that focuses on modifying matter?
Transmutation.
Transmutation.
How many copies of Dungeons & Dragons were initially published? 1,000, 10,500, or 5,000?
I guess
Like
500.
1,000.
You guys have to settle on one answer.
It's like one. I'm pretty sure.
It's
at
a
least
very small number. It was not planned on being a great seller, and ended up doing way better.
It's either 500 or 1,000, but it's somewhere in there.
It's a short.
Put 1,000. What is the faction for the Forgotten Realms. What? Oh, God.
It's one of 5.
What is the faction of the Forgotten Realms? Wants to
Just go from there. Wants to what?
acquire wealth and power at any cost. I'm sorry, it's just the grammar.
Wealth and power
sometimes.
at any cost is the Zentaran.
Yes.
Because the others are all more
They're
goody
like
goody.
the OG.
Oh, I think the question is supposed to say which, and it's saying what, and it's weird. And when a druid reaches level 20, how many times can they use their wild shape ability per day?
As many as they want.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably unlimited.
What was the name of the company that produced the first edition of Dungeons and Dragons?
Yes.
Yeah, it's good.
Wait. Okay, so there's one answer choice that is TSR Hobbies Incorporated.
That's it.
Then there's one that's Tactical Studios Rules.
Steadies rules, not studios.
It's
TSR Hobbies Inc.
Oh, thank you. So it was a little gotcha.
Yeah, it's tricky.
Gotcha.
Who is the titular Storm
Titular.
King and the Adventure Storm King Thunder?
Oh.
Storball?
The answers are Uldod, Rishnag, Snackharg, and Hekaton.
Oh, Hekaton.
Hector.
Yeah, it's King
Sorry.
Hekaton. He's the king of the storm giants.
He's
I was thinking.
You see your storm giant. And he's
Yeah, I was thinking the one that I fight all the time in Neverwinter, who's the king of the ice giants on Fangbreaker Island, which is Harsh. No, not Harshneck.
harsh.
At level
Torvald?
2, a rogue can do which of these actions as a bonus action?
Dash.
The options are disengage, attack, counter spell, or jump.
It's disengaged.
Or yeah, whichever the cunning action was. Disengage, dash, hide.
Okay. What year was Tomb of Horrors originally published?
Look, I have it on my
1985, 1978, 1998, or 1986?
Oh, it's 85 or 86.
Yeah, it's one of those two. It was a very, very middle of the D&D release thing, and it did super well. Everyone was like, "This is awesome." This is also the time when like the Mummy and thing.
Well, that was in the 90s.
Okay, were you?
No,
actually
not
like that?
not Rick McConnell Mummy, like OG Mummy, like
Oh yeah.
Karloff Mummy.
This is a long thing. Alright, which one?
I'm gonna go with 85.
75, you mean?
Oh, sorry.
No,
Or 85 or 86? Yeah, let's say 85.
What is the name of Brits Duerden's Panther?
One of
Kingdom?
our-
Whenever.
When Quivar is how it's spelled.
That one?
Yes.
When you increase your ability scores as you level up, how high can your
20.
score go?
Correct.
Weird ass.
Is it for
So-
Bad Dragon?
No, because I have dyslexia, my brain will look at words and auto-fill in what those words are based on certain letters I see and sometimes not actually read.
I mean,
I just glanced at this and I was like, who besides gay sex? And that's all I could see. It's not. It's Gary,
Guy.
yeah, is credited with writing
Dave
the first
Armstrong.
edition. Those names escape. How does the adventure out of the abyss open? Falling into the Underdark, stumbling upon a ruined town, being held in prison, and sitting in a tavern.
Prison, I think.
I think it's falling into the Underdark because it takes place in the Underdark. It's all like, it's in like Mantle Dareth and stuff. Literally the entire thing takes place in the Underdark. I don't think it's in prison because I'm pretty sure that is the opening to Princes of the Apocalypse. It's definitely not the tavern. I will stake money on it being falling into the
I'll give Chris this one. Wrong.
What ability score increase does an elf character get?
Well, now you can choose whatever you want. But
Yeah.
Prior, it was.
I think the base is Dex, right? And then your subclass determines your other one.
I think it's intelligence.
I don't know.
Really?
Strength, dexterity, constitution, and wisdom.
It's Dex. Like,
100%.
At what convention did Gay Sex and his credited collaborator on Dungeons and Dragons meet? Comic-Con, WonderCon, Gen Con, or Go Play Northwest?
It's not Gen Con because Gen Con is a D&D specific one that's afterwards.
It's not Comic Con. I bet it's Go Play Northwest.
Yeah,
Well,
say
so
like
it
I
was
said.
in Wisconsin. Or around Wisconsin. So Go Play Northwest sounds right. I don't know if
Yeah.
WonderCon is that old.
So we're gonna go with
We're gonna go Go
Play.
Play. With WonderCon being the backup answer.
Who hires a party of adventurers in the module The Lost Mine of...
Phandelver.
Yep.
Gundrick Rockseeker.
True. What
So
is
true.
this? What is the standard way to determine your character's stats?
Rolling.
Roll a d20, roll 4d6, drop the lowest, roll 2d12s, or roll 5d6.
It's 46.
46 is the lowest.
That's the new standard.
What monster has a large central eye and
The Elder.
multiple...
Older.
I know, but I wanted to finish.
I wanna fucking read it, guys!
What company currently publishes official Dungeons and Dragons materials?
Wizards of the Coast.
I knew that one because we talked about it in the shower last night.
Like,
that's your
That's our shower.
shower conversation.
Yeah. Which of these paladins?
Yeah, Wheeler, I know. Get my other shoulder blade.
Which of these paladins fell and became a Death Knight? Lord Soth, Lady Sela, Parkinson. No, sorry.
after which the disease.
Paxenarion.
Thank you. Or Shiro.
It's Lord Soth. That's whose
It
picture.
is what's on.
Wait, it has the picture of her?
That's a picture of Lord Soth.
Terrible. What type of damage prevents a troll from regenerating?
Fire acid.
Okay. Which of these books inspired the idea of law versus chaos and the paladin class?
Probably
Lord
God's
of the Rings, A Wizard of Earthsea, Three Hearts, Three Lions, or Conan the Barbarian?
not Conan.
So, hold on. Inspired Law versus Chaos and the Paladin class.
Yes, sir.
Conan the Barbarian. Absolutely not.
Yeah, that.
Okay.
Wizard of Earthsea. No. Because it is fully like arcane based. Paladin has nothing to do with that.
Then it would probably be Lord of the Rings.
I don't see Lord of the Rings either, because Lord of the Rings was the basis for all of the regular ones. Like Thief and Elf and like Dwarf. Literally, you make the Fellowship in like first edition.
Also, yes, he said that correctly. Dwarf was a class of
I don't. Okay, that's not something I thought, but I appreciate it.
Well, Elf specifically was a class. I don't think Dwarf was a class.
What's your final answer?
What is it called? 3 Hearts, 3 Lions?
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Sure.
Just because process of elimination.
Who is the wizard villain in the module White Plume Mountain?
Oh, I read through this.
Kara something?
Paraptis,
Yeah.
Zagig, Ivard, or Tensor. I'm pretty sure it's
Not
Zagig.
I think it's Zagig.
Because it's not Tensor.
Definitely.
Cool. What kind of hit does the sorcerer? What kind of hit die does the sorcerer use?
D6. Last game.
What was the first officially published Dungeons and Dragons module? Against the Cult of the Reptile God, Temple of the Frog, the Vault of the Drow, Hall of the Fire Giant King.
We're talking about A1, and I do have this on my shelf. It is Reptile God.
Who was the main character in the 2000 Dungeons and Dragons series? Vian Slate, Ridley Freeborn, Dritz Do'Urden,
It's not Trist.
Raceland.
Raceland Majere.
Yeah.
So it's not Drist,
It's
and it's
Ridley.
not Mace. It's not Raceland. Vian Slate or Ridley Freeborn.
It's Ridley.
I don't think it is.
Well, we click
I'm
on.
pretty sure. I'm looking at the picture of the cast, and I'm pretty sure it's Vian Slate. But
How many
sure.
lay on hands points does a paladin have at first level?
5.
5. You get 5 per level.
What was the first language Dungeons and Dragons was translated into? Spanish, Chinese, French, or Danish?
I think that's just Danish.
What are you going with? I would guess Spanish too, because it would make more sense for like.
It
Mainstream
would, but you have to
purposes.
think about that.
Or French, because Wisconsin's very close to Canada.
Quebec, yeah.
That's
Actually, it's French.
okay.
I remember watching something.
We're gonna go
It'd be
French.
so funny if you were. What is the name of the cult trying to summon Tiamat and the Adventure of Rise of Tiamat?
I'm
Io's
running
Cult of the
blood.
Dragon.
Cult of the Dragon, yeah.
What can't a barbarian do when raging?
Cast spells.
Okay. What was the first hardcover novel
Hardcover novel.
published by TSR Incorporated? The Legacy, The Crystal Shard, Neverwinter, or Streams of Silver?
Then it's
The Crystal Shard. So the Legacy is one of the newer ones. Neverwinter was like sent out in like third, fourth. Yeah, Neverwinter. The Neverwinter series, which I do have, is like third, fourth edition. Streams of Silver is the sequel to the Crystal Shard.
Which is behind us. Crystal Shard is not the stream.
Yeah, Crystal Shard.
Which is not a type of giant in the monster manual? Hill, cloud, stone, or sea?
See,
Cloud?
Cloud Giants are very similar to Storm Giants, but they're like blue skin instead of purple skin, and they're like slightly smaller.
Which playable race was introduced in Volo's Guide to Monsters? Tiefling,
Nope.
half-elf,
Nope.
drow, or Azamar?
Azamar, technically.
That's what I said.
There is a variant
Is that the answer?
Azamar in the DMG, but the regular playable Azamar is in Boa.
Azamar is what you
You got an 82.5%. You're in the top 96.4%.
Oh, surprising, Chris. Both of us were super big D&D nerds.
C
I mean-
answers.
So I'm pretty sure I know which ones we got wrong. It's the ones we weren't sure about. But
The only issue is it doesn't give me the answer.
Which one we
choices.
picked?
Yeah.
So let's roll through them again. Honestly, you could have skipped them all and just jumped to the answer key, because
Yeah, I should.
although it doesn't show the thing, so we wouldn't have like choices.
Yeah.
We'd be-
First edition published 1974. That
Okay.
was the year my dad and some other were. Orcs God Rumsh.
That one we know for a fact.
Classes not included was Gunslinger. First official campaign setting was Greyhawk. Special Breath, Cold Breath. 5th edition has Monk, Key or whatever. What is the name of the card game? 3 Red Ante, Undead Guys, Transmutation. I'm going through the ones that I knew you guys were right on. Was 1,000 copies. The Zentarum is the forgotten thing about. Druids can wild shape infinite. I don't know if you guys technically got that wrong.
It says Tactical Studios rules, so they got that wrong.
Okay, so who is the titular Storm King? That's Hekaton.
Yep.
Disengage. The year Tomb of Horrors was originally published was
85?
1978.
70. Okay, so it was the oldest one.
Was it?
Yeah.
The original module?
Because the other choices that we went through were 85 or 86, so we got that wrong.
Yeah, but it came out in 84. The other question was Reptile King was the first, right? Or are you just talking about...
That's a different one.
Okay.
How does the adventure Out of the Abyss open is actually being held in prison.
Well, you said.
And it was actually Gen Con.
You said falling into the... Was it really?
Yeah.
Weird. There's some...
That's a lie.
You got that right. You got that right.
Yep, it's Lord Soft. Yep, Inspire. It was 3 hearts, 3 lines
Yeah.
for the one that created or inspired Paladin.
It was Temple
Oh,
of the
Temple of
Frog.
the Frog.
It was
That's a lie.
Ridley Freeborn.
5.
It is French. Is
Yep.
the first language.
And it looks like it was translated in 3rd edition to French first, because that's the books they were showing. Unless I'm interpreting that wrong. I feel like it would have
The
been
first
translated earlier.
hardcover novel was The Legacy. Published.
I have to Google that.
Yeah, everything else is fine. Good job, you answered the question.
Are you done with the mini?
I don't know
No.
what else to do then.
I was talking.
Oh.
I thoroughly enjoy this blue on the undertone. It looks
That looks really cool.
really good. I'm actually gonna run back.
I think I'm done, baby. I don't know what else to do. Are you taking a picture of the
The Legacy was published September 1992.
Maybe the pussy.
It is.
Quiz is 100%.
So we only got like one wrong.
Yeah.
It said
you
we
said
got
that
like
wasn't the only other one that they were wrong about. That's weird.
yeah, technical studios rules.
Y'all are so good and know so much about D&D that you know that the
actually-
trivia is wrong. That's wild.
We should be on actually.
No. You don't
I
have the
play
raw
along at
chaos.
home, and typically I do score higher than most people. Sure. I'm just like, no, I wouldn't go on because I wouldn't make it fun for everybody. I would just be.
You'd be that guy.
I would very quickly like to note that I said no, you guys don't match that energy because I heard you completely different, so I'm sorry. Are you ready? Let's do honey trivia.
What?
We're gonna do me trivia.
Okay.
I feel like Wheeler has an advantage over us.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna do some minor details on the eyes, but I like it.
When I was a child and I was trying to escape an alligator attack, what
Serpentine.
food did I throw into an alligator's mouth? The answer choices are A, a raw chicken leg,
Big.
B, beef jerky, or C, cotton candy.
Cotton candy sounds too like you were trying to give reasonable answers for the other ones to throw us off
Yeah,
the
you
fact
were
that
like,
it's a very
Raw
unreason-
chicken, which I don't know why I would have. Beef jerky because my dad was a butcher, or
That's-
cotton candy because that's definitely what the answer is.
Right.
So, to explain, raw chicken did eventually get thrown, but that was not by me. The only
No,
thing I
it's
had.
probably by the person who was getting.
This is what happened. My dad was not involved at all. I was at my birth mother's house, and she lived like by a lake, and my brother and I were sitting on an upside down boat on like the edge of the lake eating cotton candy, and an alligator like came up to us and got really, really close. So like I threw cotton candy at it, and he ate it. Just in case you're wondering, by that I mean cut it in its mouth. And then we like screamed, and my stepdad walked out of the house, looked at us, and walked back in the house. And I was like, "Well, TJ, we're gonna die." And then he came back out with a whole raw chicken, and he threw it in the lake now. True story. All right,
Next question.
next question. I have to come up with questions about myself. At what age did I dress up as an angel for Halloween, have a stomach bug, pass out in somebody's yard, and not be able to eat any candy because I was hungry?
How old are you now?
23. Is
Chris and I were on the same boat with that one.
that your final answer?
No, I'm gonna say.
Because you've been at the last two Halloweens,
Yeah,
so.
I'm gonna say. This sounds like an older thing to do,
Okay, what's
but
your...
also knowing your stepmother, or rather knowing of your stepmother. I'd probably say it's pre-10.
Okay, what number? It's only 23 hours.
Those are 23 options, people.
Or roll a d20 and
Just take it.
just guess that it's not in these last 3 years.
I wonder if a D20 would get it correct.
5% chance. Was it 8?
No.
Okay, well, I'm wrong.
Or is that your answer?
Look at the d20 roll.
Okay, so your answer is 8. What did you say?
6.
Ironically, it was 7.
Ah,
Well,
So, yeah, I was very young. Alright, next question. What was the initials of the hospital I was sent to when I was in 9th grade?
city were you in?
I'm giving Chris an opportunity to do this.
I do talk about it very frequently.
I don't know any hospitals.
Just 3 letters. Letters. Yeah, it was
those
the
are
420
those are letters.
420 hospital. What's the answer, dear?
The answer is CFB.
It is indeed. Let's see. What time of day was I born?
12:59 a.m.
2 o'clock. 12:59. Yeah.
I was born at noon.
Shit.
So, let's see.
You know what time I was born?
What time?
I don't know.
Never.
Do you want to know why I know what time I was born? Because my mother is a very
Mother cares.
spiritual ass bitch. Nah, I still like read number charts and shit. When I was in elementary school, what did I want to be when I grew up? There are 2 answer choices I will accept. What? Was that an answer?
No, it's a meme.
Okay.
What do you want to grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? Vampire bat.
Oh, that was me. Just kidding, it wasn't. One is very weird, and
We got about 15 minutes.
another one is.
What is the most basic one? The most basic one is a veterinarian.
Ask me like a bluish red.
I wasn't a super basic child, so no. If that's your answer.
No, I'm just saying that's the most basic one.
What say you, dear? When I was a young lass.
You?
Elementary school. Huh? Cool. So the answer was either person who names paints and nail polishes or news reporter. So,
Oh, someone active.
Man, what fucking Walter Cronkite dude got you into that? Like
what?
wanting to be a news anchor.
I was in news production crew from 4th grade on until
That makes sense.
8th grade. So
Because I assumed you meant like pre.
yeah,
high
elementary school. I said
So-
elementary school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing that since 4th grade.
Wild.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I lied to you. It was 3rd grade. It was amazing. Great time. Highly recommend. I loved it. I did it for so long, and I went to a lot of different schools, so I got to have a lot of different. So, let's see. I'm trying. The problem is all the questions I'm thinking of are like really bad because my life was tragic. Ooh, what was my favorite store to go into as a kid? What kind of store was my favorite store? Kid? Coincidentally,
so
it's still my favorite.
A kind of store,
Yeah.
not a specific store.
Not a specific. Well, there was a specific one at the time, but I'm just gonna go with kind of store because it's still my favorite kind of store.
Ulta? I don't know.
Wow.
Beauty
I was
store?
a child. You think I knew what makeup was?
Well, I'm just guessing off of like what you might still like to go to.
That's fair. What about you?
Is-
David?
I would say the other option is a bookstore.
Is that your option?
I would say bookstore.
You're both wrong. It's furniture stores, like rooms
We've
to go
never
or
gone
IKEA.
to furniture
That
It's
is
stores.
like
the
my
most, like,
favorite thing in the world.
White adult.
I will say I should have known that.
I loved IKEA as a kid. It was the best place ever. It was like
I almost threw
hide
up in
and
IKEA
seek.
walking around there a couple weeks
Ugh,
ago because
love
we
it.
like we hadn't eaten lunch yet. Or I think we just had eaten lunch and it just wasn't sitting well. I think we were just wandering IKEA for like an hour because that's how long it takes to
Yes.
get through IKEA.
yeah.
And we were just like, we didn't really have any plans to buy anything specific. I was looking for like a new bookshelf, but all of their bookshelves that weren't like the $300 ones were all out of stock.
Makes sense. IKEA be poppin'. No, I've always loved that fucking place. And I also am just a slut for kitchens. So kitchen setups, oof, hits me hard. Okay. Next funny question. If it makes you feel any better, Michael's known me long. You're still like neck and neck. What is no? Because Michael knows. Just don't answer. What is my favorite? This is a trick question. Okay, I'm sorry. There are 2 sets of my favorite colors. figure them out.
Sets of colors.
Yes.
What?
I will explain. Some are they're my favorite colors, and then I also have my favorite colors to wear. That's the two differences.
Okay, that's
Because they're
fair.
very different.
When we say sets, are we talking like a
A
triad?
pair.
Okay.
Each is a pair.
We went from 25 viewers average yesterday to
Wearing, I think, is black and red because I think that's what I've seen you wear.
That is correct.
Okay. Yep. What you prefer?
Yeah, my two favorite colors. It was kind of named earlier in the question.
Black and yellow, black and I was not able to retain any information from the questions.
It looks like there's luster dust in it. I want to drink it.
I wouldn't.
highly
That's the reason.
recommend
I'm saying
avoiding doing
that.
so.
I highly recommend you.
Must dissuade.
Not all of them.
Mint green and lavender.
That's very close.
You have a good idea
Yeah.
with the mint green.
Sorry. And,
And the
lavender,
lavender.
yeah. They're both
pastel.
close. It's baby pink and pastel blue. Which that's
So you
why
know,
I said
she
cotton
just wants to
candy.
live inside of a nursery for
See,
a baby.
okay. Well, yeah.
Her favorite events to go to are those gender reveal parties.
The baby showers, yeah. I love them.
But
Only
see,
for the
I at
cake
least
pops.
had you pegged for someone who's into pastels.
Yeah. I do absolutely adore mint green and lavender. Honestly, those are like gonna be a part of our wedding colors. The pastel. So, next.
Well, not the.
Lavenders are going to accompany the aubergine stage.
Aubergine.
Michael picked that. I sounded like
The
such
only reason-
a fucking bitch
Okay,
in that
the
sentence,
only
but
reason
Michael
I know
picked
what
those
color
colors.
aubergine is because it's like the British word for egg.
Okay.
The only reason I know that is because of the show Taskmaster, where they had to hide through
Three
aubergines, which was the first Taskmaster bit I ever watched, and it got me hooked. Good shit.
What was my favorite meal when I was in middle school? I will warn you, it is basic as fuck.
It is a middle school meal, or it is a meal that you ate at home.
Meal I
It is-
ate at home for sure.
Oh, fuck, I don't know. Pork chops.
I'm
She's
Jewish.
Good guess though. Grilled
I literally said the first thing that sprang to mind. Didn't
When I
realize-
say basic, I mean like it's probably not a basic meal, like not just like one simple thing.
Well,
but
see,
it's
now
like,
I can only think of like Jewish foods.
It wasn't. It was very, I would say, more country than
Black. Well, see, my other thing was gonna be like bullshit, like Salisbury steak stuff.
No, I'll tell you. I don't know why I assumed you guys would guess this because it's specific. So, corn with butter and salt,
Okay.
really
fair.
good mashed potatoes,
Okay.
and chicken breasts where you bread them in crushed up cheddar French onions.
What the fuck are you? What are these words you're saying?
How could we have guessed that?
No.
I want to talk about the fucking other thing being a trick question. Like,
You
yeah,
could-
sure.
If you
that's...
said like chicken and mashed potatoes, I would have given it to you. I wasn't gonna be that. I didn't want you to get that specific answer, but that's the answer. Okay, so I asked you what I wanted to be in elementary school. What did I want to be in middle school? We'll say 6th grade specifically because it changed 7th grade.
An author.
I have literally never wanted to be a writer.
Yeah, me neither.
But very, very close. I guess I will give it to you because the answer was songwriter. So I wouldn't want to be an author, but like an author.
You said writer.
Yeah. So good job. Okay, 7th grade. What did I want to be?
Actor.
That was gonna be my. Well, that's because you said it.
And then
That makes
7th
sense.
grade on. That
That
was
looks
kind
like
of
water and like the wave. It looks like sea foam.
Good to know.
I thought it looked
What I
like
would do along with that,
like water, but with like glaciers
take some
broken
like
up
really
inside.
pale white and draw like some squigglies.
For
I thought it looked like broken glacier water.
yeah, that's
Do
my
like some
goal.
squigglies, sort of connecting them to sort of, if you want to give the illusion of waves. It can still look like glacier stuff, but
I honestly was gonna go over it and make it look like rock, but now that you said that, I just wasted all that paint. That's okay.
When I was in 4th grade, I went on a field trip to spend the night at SeaWorld.
Well, which one? I'll use it.
What? This?
Yeah.
When I was in 4th grade, I went on a sleepover field trip to SeaWorld. What enclosure did I stay in? It was an animal.
Oh yeah.
Penguin.
That's the guess I was gonna make. I just had to think through.
I can give you the options.
Okay, sure.
Sharks, penguins, beluga whales.
Based off of inflection alone,
Yeah, I think you're
I
right.
have to say beluga. I don't even need a fourth answer. You
It
could
was
not
beluga
contain
whale.
yourself.
Okay, so I wanted to.
Call it like cheating at the game, but like that is the correct answer.
I wanted to go to the shark enclosure, but I found out that the boy I had a crush on coincidentally answered to one of the bank questions.
All right, one
I
down. One down. One grandmother's name to go.
It's okay, I'm not gonna tell you
I
his name,
know
but
that
anyway.
answer.
My crush at that time, I found out that he was gonna be in the beluga whale section. So I was like, ooh, I'm gonna sleep in the beluga whale section. I was in 4th grade, I was like, and I get there, and at the point after SeaWorld when we all changed into our pajamas, he was wearing like pajamas you'd see on the Disney Channel, the younger brother, that were like patterned basketball, like pajama pants,
Did
and
you
like a weird
instantly
long
lose
sleeve.
your,
And then I was like,
your interest?
I wish it didn't work that way for me, because I was in love.
I was gonna say, well,
She's very much the kind of person. If you, I mean, you know who I am. Who could ever fall in love with that?
Aw,
She's very
thanks.
much that kind of person where it's just like everyone looks at the person that she likes and they're like, why? And she's like, I don't know. There's just something about.
I will explain that. If I have affection for somebody, I literally find them the most beautiful person in the entire world. My
very awesome.
brain will start to warp what they look like. And for example,
I
when
mean,
I
I
first
don't think
met
that's
Wheeler,
just you necessarily.
I literally was like, I don't know, he's kind of weird looking.
I'm kind of weird.
And then like now, I'm like, wow, that's the sexiest thing I've ever seen. Like it literally like 100% changes my perspective, and I love it. It's fun.
Brain's a weird
Yeah,
Brain's a weird
beluga
tool.
whale. Where did I dream of visiting when I was in elementary?
The beluga whale.
No, but there was this really cute time where, like, my friend bought a little beluga whale stuffed animal while we were at SeaWorld, and we put it up to the enclosure and made little, like, swimming motions with it, and the beluga whales came and, like, nudged it. Oh, okay. Yay. Oh my god, it's shelf worthy?
Yeah.
Butterfly. That's so sweet.
I need to get like actual something display worthy for my bigger minis because like
That is an interesting
I don't-
expression.
I don't have like shelf space to dedicate to things that are not books.
Really?
I'm regretting choosing this color as the base color because it's very hard
Why?
to see which parts I've applied it to. It's too light.
I am very happy with it. It looks really good.
It almost looks like he's reflecting the blue water too.
Yeah, that's kind of why I like it. Now, the big question is, can I get this motherfucker on the table? These are so wonky on.
Yeah, I would try dry fitting him and then that's all. Because that's what I need to do with my red dragon. Like, he does not want to stay still, so I need to just get him on there.
Oh, there we go. Alright, we only got about 5 minutes left. Probably less, actually. Yeah, 4 minutes or so left. Take some pictures of these, but thank you for those of you who have joined us tonight and listened to probably what has been the the least audience
The most
involvement that
going
we've
on,
had.
yeah, the most going on this end.
Yeah.
Like-
But that tends to happen when you add another individual. But we appreciate you sticking around with us. It has
If you
been a lot
add
of fun.
someone with a +5 charisma score.
Yeah.
The overall average.
That's another interesting question to ask. What do you think your, as a person, what do you think your attribute?
Strength probably an 8 or a 9. I mean, if I have a dump stat, it's there. Constitution, at least a +1 because I never get sick. Probably in the +2 range. I have a pretty high pain. Dex, I would easily say like a 14, 15 range. So I have really good balance, good with my hands, like good hand-eye coordination. What's up? Intelligence, probably pretty high. I wouldn't put it any higher than a 16. It's like, I'm not like, you know, it's more like jack of all trades. Like, I'll go by my half proficiency bonus rather than actually having a high score in it. Wisdom, probably something similar. That's just like, not to call myself fucking smarter, and like, you know, it's like gifted program like bullshit.
Yeah. I gotcha.
Like, I can figure a thing out. That's what I can do. And what are the other ones? Charisma? Probably 10, 11. Something,
Yeah.
Something real baseline, like,
Yeah.
I have a customer service voice.
My charisma
But-
is also a 10 because it's really up to you.
Yeah, I'm not like YouTuber level where I can, you know, y'all have watched me on stream. I just don't got it. Like, I don't think I'm horrendous. I don't think I actively turn people away. But I also don't think I have really any bonuses.
I'm kind of, like I said, I'm very middle range for that. So. Alright, it is 9:30, so we're going to go ahead and end for tonight. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. Thank you for sticking around through all those conversations. Join us tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our next episode of Over the Killjoy Peaks. If you haven't already, please follow the channel. Thank you for those of you who followed during the stream. If you have the money for it and can, please subscribe. Don't forget to resubscribe if you Twitch Prime subscribe. Enjoy whatever your night entails. We're going to throw a raid out to someone, probably CB, but we'll see. But thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it, and we will see you next time. Goodbye!